Hey everyone. With all this news about getting back to the moon, it feels like we're on the verge of something really incredible. And speaking of incredible, you guys have sent in some seriously fascinating stuff about China's space program. A mix of articles and even a YouTube audio transcript in Spanish. So get ready because today we are diving deep into the lunar mysteries China has been uncovering.
Yeah, it's kind of wild how, well, everyone's looking ahead to future missions. China's been quietly building up their presence on the moon this whole time,
Yeah.
especially on the far side, the part we never get to see from Earth. And honestly, some of their findings are totally changing how we see our celestial neighbor.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, we talk about NASA's legacy, as we should, but China's been racking up some serious wins in lunar exploration lately. Like, we've seen delays with programs like Artemis, but China's chain missions have been amazingly consistent, mission after mission, just unlocking these lunar secrets.
It's true. I mean, their dedication is seriously paying off.
Yeah.
Each change mission seems like it brings even more groundbreaking discoveries.
Yeah. Okay, so let's break down these chain missions a bit. They're kind of the stars of today's deep dive, and trust me, their accomplishments are seriously impressive. So first up, you've got Chain 4. Back in 2019, it touched down on the far side of the moon, which was a historic first. And it wasn't just any landing. It landed in the von Karman crater, which is tucked inside that massive South Pole Aitken Basin. Then there's Shinkin 5. 2020, it lands in the Oceanus Procellarum region. And get this, brings back almost 2 kilos of lunar samples.
Oh, yeah. Those samples have been pure gold for scientists.
But
They didn't stop there. Changing 6 just last year brought back even more samples, this time focusing on the far side.
And what has everyone buzzing is that they're unlike anything we've ever seen before. It's like, oh, nah. We're getting a whole new look at the moon's history. Like opening a book that's been sealed for billions of years. What secrets do you think those rocks are holding?
Well, actually, some of those secrets are already being revealed. For example, the Chain G5 samples. They actually found a brand new mineral. Never been seen on Earth before.
Whoa, a brand new mineral. Now that is just cool. I mean, we're talking about something formed under crazy pressure billions of years ago. What a find.
Yeah, they named it Changesite, or why? Or Cheshite for short, after the mission. And here's where it gets interesting. Its composition, the structure. It suggests that Cheshite formed under super high pressure and temperatures. This wasn't just some random rock formation. It likely formed from a meteorite impact, which adds a whole other layer to the story of the moon's early bombardment.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
each discovery is a piece of this giant puzzle. And with Cheshite, we're finally starting to see how chaotic the early solar system really was. I mean, if this mineral could talk, imagine the stories.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of extreme conditions and fascinating discoveries, remember those Chain G5 samples we talked about? Well, along with the Cheshite, they found something even more unexpected. Tiny glass beads. And within
Yeah.
those beads,
Water.
water.
Water on the moon.
Yeah. Now, it's not like they found a lake or anything. It's more like water molecules trapped inside these tiny glass beads. They're formed during ancient volcanic eruptions or, meteorite impacts. Scientists analyze these beads by basically baking them, like super high temperatures to release those gases, including water vapor. And then they study the composition of what's released. And what
Yeah.
they found, it's really incredible.
So we're talking about ancient water, like locked away in these beads for billions of years, a time capsule from the early solar system. How much water are we talking about here, though?
Of the estimates, they suggest that across the entire lunar surface, there could be as much as 300 billion kilos of water locked up in these kinds of beads.
300 billion kilos. Wow.
Yeah.
That is not just a drop in the bucket. That's a game changer for future lunar missions. I mean, we've talked about the need for water for astronauts, but there's got to be more to it than that, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Think about it. Water isn't just for drinking. You can break it down into its base elements. You've got your hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen can be used as fuel. And oxygen, well, we need that to breathe. Having a source of water on the moon like that, it's a game changer for establishing lunar bases, creating rocket fuel right there on the surface, even launching missions further into space.
It's like the moon is offering us a helping hand as we head further out into the cosmos. That's incredible. But okay, let's shift gears a bit here and talk about another intriguing spot. The South Pole Aitken Basin. Now, we touched on this earlier, but this isn't just any crater. This thing is massive.
It's awe-inspiring, really. Imagine a crater so large, you could fit several Mount Everests inside. It's the second largest impact crater in the entire solar system. It spans a mind-blowing 2,500 kilometers in diameter and plunges 12 kilometers deep. deeper than the deepest part of our oceans.
It's hard to even picture something that massive, but what makes this basin so scientifically significant?
Well, scientists believe it was formed by a colossal impact billions of years ago, back when the moon was still forming. An impact that big would have gouged out material from deep within the moon and potentially exposed parts of the lunar mantle. The lunar mantle is the layer beneath the moon's crust. And studying it, that would give us invaluable insights into the moon's internal structure and formation.
So it's like a window into the moon's past, a chance to see what lies beneath the surface.
Precisely. And this is where things get really interesting. China's U-22 rover, which has been exploring the floor of the Aitken Basin, found something totally unexpected. No mantle material.
Wait, none at all. But I thought massive impacts like that were supposed to excavate material from the mantle.
Right. And that's what makes this finding so perplexing. Scientists fully expected to find evidence of the lunar mantle, like scattered across the basin floor. There are a few possibilities here. Maybe the impact wasn't as powerful as we thought, or maybe the moon's interior is structured differently than we currently believe.
It's like the moon is guarding its deepest secrets. But hold on a second. Didn't data from NASA's Grail mission reveal something strange beneath the Aitken Basin as well?
Yes, the Grail mission,
Yeah.
which mapped the moon's gravity field with incredible precision, detect a massive anomaly beneath the South Pole Aitken Basin, a huge metallic mass, estimated to be about the size of Costa Rica.
Okay. Now we're talking about something straight out of science fiction. A giant metallic mass buried beneath the lunar surface. What could it possibly be?
Well, at first, scientists thought it might be the remnants of the impactor itself, the object that slammed into the moon and created the Aitken Basin. However, that doesn't really line up with the lack of mantle material found by China's rover. Simulations actually suggest that this mass is largely composed of iron and nickel, elements typically found in a planet's core, not scattered near the surface.
So we're left with a real head-scratcher. What's this massive metallic object doing there? Could it be a fragment of another celestial body that collided with the moon eons ago? Could it be a clue to a period of intense planetary bombardment in the early solar system?
These are all questions that scientists are trying to answer right now.
Yeah.
It's like having this giant puzzle box. But we're missing a few key pieces. We have these incredible findings, the lack of mantle material, the massive metallic mass, but we're still trying to put it all together. And that's what makes this so exciting.
It's like the moon is whispering its secrets to us, bit by bit, challenging everything we thought we knew. But there's one more mystery we need to uncover, a finding so strange that it's left scientists baffled. We've been talking about the water trapped in those glass beads and this giant metallic mass hidden below the surface. But you mentioned one more mystery.
Yeah, so remember how the Grail mission measured the moon's gravity field? Well, those measurements. They showed something really weird about the South Pole Aitken Basin. There's something down there,
Yeah.
masking the gravity of that metallic mass.
Masking it? What do you mean?
Okay, so
Yeah.
imagine you put a bowling ball on a trampoline. You'd expect a dip, right? That's basically what Grail was doing with gravity. But over the Aitken Basin, the dip wasn't as big as it should be. Especially with a metallic mass that huge, it's like something is partially counteracting its pull.
Whoa. So there's something else down there. Something big enough to mess with gravity. What could it be?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Some think it could be an area with super dense material, maybe a leftover piece of whatever formed the basin. Others think it might be linked to ancient volcanic activity, like deep within the moon.
It's like the moon is full of these hidden layers, each one stranger than the last. Makes you wonder what else is waiting to be discovered.
It really makes you think. Every new mission, China's Chime missions, NASA's Grail, they're peeling back another layer of the moon's history. And with each discovery, we get a better understanding of just how amazing our celestial neighbor really is.
It's true. It's like we're putting together this giant puzzle, and just when we think we're getting the hang of it, bam, a whole new section appears. But I guess that's what makes it so captivating, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And the best part is, this is only the beginning. China has more lunar missions planned, and globally, there's this renewed interest in going back to the moon. Who knows what incredible discoveries are still out there?
It's like we're entering a new era of lunar exploration. And this time, we're not just planting flags. We're unraveling mysteries that have been around for billions of years. So before we wrap up, what's the one thing you hope people take away from all of this?
That's a good question. I'd say the biggest takeaway is the moon isn't just this static, unchanging rock in the sky. It's a dynamic world with this incredibly rich and complex history. And it holds clues to the very beginning of our solar system. So the more we explore, the more we learn not just about the moon, but about our own place in the universe.
Well said. And on that note, we've come to the end of our deep dive into the lunar mysteries being uncovered by China's space program. Thanks for joining us on this journey. We hope you had an amazing time exploring the wonders of the moon with us. Until next time, keep looking up and never stop questioning the universe around you.